Welcome back, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. I am, for the most part, a little underneath the weather, but under the weather. So, what we're working on here today, and this is kind of just jumping around right now, and the reason why is because I started my road bed coming up around to where the tunnel is going to be, and the roadbed stops there, and then the roadbed will pick back up over this way. And the reason being is because when the main line comes around, laps over, I'll have very minimal space here, and I want to make sure that I can get auto racks and container cars under here with no clearance issues. It's going to be tight, but there's really no other way I can do this to make everything else flow the way I need it to flow. So that's why I'm eliminating the roadbed in this particular area. So as I was buttoning all this up, this is all good to go. I cut it flush here, getting ready to connect this. Been sanding this, working on this piece, but I noticed it looked like it was still too much of a grade there for me, a little bit over 2%. And so I kind of did some figuring, and it's closer to probably a 3% grade, maybe like 310, 315, and wasn't happy with that. If you remember a few videos back, I think I had like a 4% grade in here, and I think 4 or 5 cars in the train started slipping, so I kind of wanted to get away from that and wanted to do something a little different. So what I've done is I went ahead and just lowered everything an eighth of an inch up to this point. And then, but I'm going to do the same thing here. Now, I had two options. Either take this bench work here and lower it, which means I have to take it completely down and cut 3/4 of an inch is off to make this fit on the back side of this piece and still line up with the peninsula section. But I figured what I'll do is I'll take my Dremel tool for no more than what I need. I need roughly an eighth of an inch, a little bit more probably. And I'm just going to take a little bit off the top here and round this off. So when this piece sits here, it will sit flush and there won't be a belly here, because these risers, these 4 risers that I have here, are exactly where I need them to be. But in order to do that, in order for that to sit there like that, yeah, I need to take about an eighth of an inch off. And I can do that without any issues. And then I'll be able to drop these down, because I think this one right here is sitting at about a 1/4 of an inch. Yeah. So this one will get dropped down a little bit, and this, and so on like that. So let's get to that. This was originally the piece that was going to be in here coming off, joining the two together like so. Well, that piece is no longer going to work. So what I'll end up doing is I'll take this piece, use it as a template, and I'll cut another piece that makes a funnel more of a on this side here, and then probably a little bit straighter here. I mean, what I have here currently would work, especially if I put my curved turnout, which I don't think I have. I'm not sure what I did with it. It's around here somewhere, hiding. But I'd have my curved turnout coming in like this. And all I'm doing is seeing if I can use what I have here before I go any further. And I might be able to, actually, now that I'm looking at it more. Well, And that's also not completely where I need it to be. So once I move that, and since it's got to come over here, yeah, so that I'm gonna have to redo this entire piece, and it'd be as wide as it is here, and then it'll kind of just get a little narrower there. So that's not a problem. I can cut that out. We can make that work. So that's what we're going to do there, because I'm going to be moving the curved turnout up some now, because after all, this is what we got. And as you can see, this sits flush between all three of these, like so, and then this is right under it. So I'm 1/4 of an inch off, which is not a problem. So what I'll have to do is end up taking this blocking off, and then probably put a wedge piece out here, which isn't a problem. I'll do that here in a second, and that'll work. Alright, well, as you can see, went ahead and I resloped this entire grade here for the reversing loop. And I went ahead and laid some track down, and I got the track around the curve as well. And that's because I want to see exactly how everything's going to play out with where I'm at with the grade right now. I'm roughly at like 2.5, maybe 2.10, something like that. And I can roughly pull 20 cars up with one locomotive. I'll show you guys that here in a minute. However, I did take 4 off just because I could hear the wheels kind of slipping, and I don't want to do any damage to the locomotive. So without having the locomotive properly weighted for this type of grade, it's doing great, and it's just one locomotive. But what I'll do is I'll grab the tripod real quick, kind of show you guys exactly how I did everything. And as you can see, it's a much better angle. And as you also can see, I redid this entire section right here, and then I cut it in the middle there a little bit so I could flex the one side. And the main line is going to probably merge right in here with the turnout, and then it'll connect here, maybe a little further down, probably down there somewhere. And I've just got the track loosely laid. It's not great track work. I mean, I don't even have the sub road bed or the road bed down. But, so this is what we're running. One of my favorite locomotives. And we're starting all the way over here. So, let's go ahead, start it up. I'm going to go to speed step 10. And notch it up to 13. And we'll see exactly what it does with these 16 cars that it's pulling. So it looks like 16 is definitely the max right now for this locomotive without it being weighted, which I'm great with that. I may redo the Peninsula a little bit and lower it, make it a little bit less of a incline. And as you can tell, I'm really bad with this angle. Alright, well there we have it. You know, with 16 cars, it will run up the grade easily. Thinking probably if I weighted it, probably another 4 or 5 cars easily, single locomotive. So, now this plan was designed to run 2 to 3 locomotives in a consist. So, you know, I'll get right around probably 35, 40 cars is where I want to be. I think what I am going to do though is I'm going to look a little bit more at my slope and see exactly where I want to go from here, because I'm at that critical point right now. I can do anything and everything I want. I am at a quarter of a bubble, so that's not bad. That's very close to a 2% grade, extremely close actually for what I want. And that right there is roughly, well, if I can get it setting right, it might be better off. So I have a little bit of a slope there, which is good. So I think what I'll end up doing is on the next installation or the construction video, I will lower the Peninsula just down probably 1/8 of an inch, if that, and just to kind of give me a little bit more of a gradual slope, a little under 2% probably. And the good thing about that is I have all of this real estate to where I can continue climbing on this back side. And I don't really have anything truly planned on that side on the second level yet. So as I come around, I can lower that some and then make my climb up as well there and get me to where I need to be on the back wall, on the next 3 walls actually. And then by the time I come around here, I'll be exactly where I want. And then it'll come around, look back around, and it'll probably duck in probably right in here, because this will be the reversing section up top, and then it'll go back down on top of itself. So I'm close to where I want to be. But you know, this was a necessary evil. This took me more time than I really wanted it to today, but it's got to be done, and it's got to be done right. So I appreciate it. Thanks for watching, guys and gals, and stay tuned. Hopefully the next video will be an actual layup update and not a construction video, but from the feedback that I've been getting, you guys have been enjoying the construction videos, so I'll keep them coming as well. And hopefully with the next construction video, it'll be depending on what I decide to do with the peninsula grade. That'll be part of that as well, and then this part here, and then there'll be probably the layout update. So, all right, well, thanks for watching, guys and gals. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk soon.